the war in Ukraine. It's an absolute war, right? If you look at the Russian ruble, it's gone essentially down to basically a zero, as low as you could probably get for a currency, I would assume. Give us some insight into, obviously, when you did the trade, you didn't know that war started per se. Now it's on, and now it's causing, obviously, gold just hit 2,000 earlier today. We're all over the place with volatility. The sanctions are changing the banking system inherently. What is some of your insight, both from actual trading point of view and what you believe might be coming down the pipe when you're in that Forex market?
Very strong question, and I'm just trying to break down in parts what you're saying. So the war clearly is happening, and I alluded to this on our previous conversation, and that was while other currencies are getting demolished or going down the drain. I call it on my training sessions, down Judy Brown, just
There you
saying.
go.
But when the market is doing that, something else is being elevated, and that's the dollar, and that's gold, and that's crude right now. And it's it's not it's not a surprise. I almost feel that, number one, wars are real, but there's always a motive behind it. There's always money behind something, and there's always this manipulation, if you will. And so, in my opinion, this had to happen, and I don't know how to explain that part. That's the thing that I'm struggling with right now. Is how do I explain this had to happen? Um, it we have something every year that causes a reason for the dollar to really, in my opinion, as I see certain things on the charts, and I'm using the dollar only for an example, and then I'll get to the euro and things like that, and the ruble. But something has to happen to move the market where it was supposed to go to begin with. And I want to take us back. I don't want to get off on a tangent on what happened in 2020 and the alphabet words and numbers of C19. But when I was trading in February of that year, and I had no idea that this thing was going to happen, April-ish or whatever, I saw that crude, and I'll bring it back to this war. I saw that crude had a massive imbalance structure on its price on the chart. And when I looked, I said, what in the world would cause, am I seeing this correct? And my dad at the time, he's since retired now, but he's an oil and gas guy. And I said, I called him. I said, Dad, crude is about to go down the drain. He's like, son, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Like, I'm busy. Boom. And I was like, no, crude's going to go down Judy Brown. He's like, don't be calling me, telling me all your crazy stuff. I was like, no, I'm serious. I see on the chart on the weekly and the monthly that it literally can get all the way down to zero. Do you know what happened that year? It went down to zero. I didn't know why it was going to happen, but all of a sudden news happened and all this stuff happened around, the world, and this virus breaks out and all this stuff, but money moved. They lowered the prices of oil in a rapid second, and then they moved them back up. And here we are now. They're doing a reset. This is what I'm seeing in this war. They're doing a reset on that side of the world. That's what's happening. And I saw in the market that gold needed to move up. The dollar was in the drain due to the presidential switchover. And that's a whole nother conversation. But we won't talk politics. Will we talk politics?
No,
I don't want to
not
talk
on this show.
politics.
We don't talk. We talk money on this show.
Okay, just money. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine. I'm cool with just talking money. It's totally cool. I don't want to lose friends. But, you know, I said, gold, something's got to cause the dollar and gold to move at the same time bullish. And I looked and I said, what? Because here's the thing, gold usually is not bullish with the dollar unless the dollar has some type of inflation. They feed each other. And on our charts, it's XAU USD. So if the dollar is bullish, gold is not, because they're quoted against each other, creating that simple pair. And so I'm looking and I was like, something's got to cause gold to move. And that's what I was telling, you guys on the previous conversation was I happened to sit and trade gold at the time that I saw something, and it shot up for me in the favor of what I saw it needed to do. I had no idea about a war. And so a lot of times in our world of currency, global catastrophic things tend to happen, but the reality is they were going to happen anyway. I didn't know it was going to be a war. Not sure if a White House is going to get stormed or what's happening in everything in different parts of the world. But I just see on the charts that something, in order for this to happen, it's got to be a big move. And typically our world happens in between the 1 minute chart and the daily time charts. If something needs to happen on the weekly or the monthly, it can be very, a scary situation on whatever that currency or commodity might be. And so it's interesting how global things don't seem planned, but wars are part of the plan and the process. It moves the money where it needs to go, period.
Absolutely.
So
And
hopefully that answered your question, Swan.
yeah, and I think, we're not being sensitive to the lives lost. Like, we fully
No,
support
not at all.
Ukraine. Like, that should not happen. We're not talking
No.
about that side of it. We're specifically talking about money. And we get asked a lot of, what causes things. The cause and the effect, we really couldn't tell. Obviously, there's things that are going on behind the scenes we're not aware of, but you can see it going to happen, right? You're going to see things potentially happen. We just don't know what that black swan event's going to be. And that's usually the term that's out there in the industry, is a black swan event, an event that causes a massive creation of money movement. It just so happened to be the war this time. So I think you answered it very, very well. But I really want people to understand that, not to talk about the death piece of it, but the money piece of it. Things have to happen. They need to reset. We've been talking about it for a while. We talked about it before the pandemic hit, of this market has to adjust. If it doesn't, it's something even bigger is going to happen. It has to. There's no way around it. It happened, right? We didn't know what it was going to be, but it was going to be something with money. We've talked about it with gold for the longest time. We've traded oil for a while. Like, those things are going to happen. It's just a matter of what the cause is and when. It's just going to be soon. So I want everyone to understand that you can see that. You learn charts, you can see that things are going to happen. You just don't know what that event is going to be. And I think it's very important for people to understand that there's a lot of money being made because of this war, top to bottom. It didn't matter what part of the industry, world, life you are in. There's a lot of people making a lot of money right now. And some people will say, well, you're making money on people's deaths. No, because John could have not even opened the news and still made money, not knowing that it was war that was the signal. Because we're focused on the money and the charts. We're not focused on, the politics of it, really, the geopolitical politics of it. And I think it's really important for everyone to understand what's going on from a money standpoint right now.
The preceding program was sponsored by Black Mammoth. Any awards, rankings, or recognition by unaffiliated third parties or publications are in no way indicative of the advisor's future performance or any individual client's investment success. No award, ranking, or recognition should be construed as a current or past endorsement of Black Mammoth. Information regarding specific awards, rankings, or recognitions is available on the Black Mammoth website, www.blackmammoth.com. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss. Investment strategies such as asset allocation, diversification, or rebalancing do not assure or guarantee better performance and cannot eliminate the risk of investment losses. There are no guarantees that a portfolio employing these or any other strategy will outperform a portfolio that does not engage in such strategies. This broadcast should not be construed by any client or prospective client as a solicitation to effect or attempt to effect transactions and securities, or the rendering of personalized investment advice due to various factors, including changing market conditions. The information discussed in this broadcast may no longer be reflective of current positions or recommendations. While information presented is believed to be factual and up-to-date, Black Mammoth do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. The tax and estate planning information discussed is general in nature and is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as legal or tax advice. Listeners should consult an attorney or tax professional regarding their specific legal or tax situation. Past performance is not indicative of future results.